Hello, Payne here. Today I wanted to talk about art and its influence. Art is everywhere, even if the art that you consider isn't necessarily around you. The art you see may be a drawing or a mural outside or a painting in your house, but the art around you is also your home, the structure and the function. The art around you could be the books on the shelf, the phone you're holding, the essay you made for school, a math problem, an application, a mere scribble you made while you were bored in the side of your notebook. Now, you might be wondering what any of these things have to do with art. Well, for me, the concept of art is ridiculously broad. Art has its own meaning and idea from person to person. Art is extremely subjective. What I say art is in this video may be something you don't agree with. It may be something completely different from what you have in mind. And that's okay, because art is tailored to you, and art is tailored to me. For something to be art, it just simply has to be something that is created. So that means everything and everyone is a work of art. But let's narrow this down to what the majority of us consider art to be: the fine arts and theatrical arts, from pencils and paintings to building sets and acting. Now let's narrow it down further: the fine arts, pencil drawings, painting, mixed media, metals, ceramics, photography, weaving, fabrics, and so much more. And this is just what we may consider art. And even this already is so broad. It is probably infinite of the ideas and creation that you could do. Even though I am aware of this, I'm still enclosed in a mold, and maybe you are too. I am still hung up on the idea that my art has to be perfect. It has to be realistic, and if it's not, it's worthless. It's not good enough, even if it's a piece that I'm proud of and interested in. I understand the hypocrisy that my idea of art being so broad contradicts with the mental state that I use when I create art. This mold has been engraven into me time and time again, for me, in art class. Time and time again, I see artworks that are more realistic, put above as those who have more cartoony or stylistic. Obviously, those who can create realism drawing have a skill set that they have cultivated, but it's not to say that those who have been using a cartoony/stylized artworks haven't been cultivating skills to match their way of creating art. So, again, to me, in art class, we are taught to stay in our mold that they have created, to stay in with the correct standards of proportion and realism. But as we advance from elementary to which is basic stuff like learning your colors and maybe basic forms of perspective, and then to advancing to middle school art, and then to high school. And that's where you probably will put the most effort into your artwork until you go to college, if that is something that you want to do. And as you're advancing from elementary to middle school to high school, you start to find your voice as an artist. And once you reach college, as I've heard and I've seen, you will truly find your voice then. And you'll understand what kind of artist you want to be, or the kind of artist you are. And the main reason why I wanted to talk about this was mainly because of a discovery that I made in my own mindset. Is because as I'm advancing to higher art classes in school, I'm starting to realize how biased my own mindset towards art is. As I look at example artworks of advanced level students in my classes, I start to see, I have to raise my standards of how my art should be to theirs because they have more value, more depth, and they're more realistic. But then the next example that scored a high score as well will be absolutely cartoony, but it tells a story. It still has that depth to it. It's just different from the other person's because they have their own individualistic style and voice. And I'm like, I don't need to copy them. I need to find my own voice and put that into my own work. So finding your voice in your art and letting the art influence you is an amazing thing to happen, because even if it's just like an artwork that you don't usually look at, or if it's a medium you don't really use, you should try it out just once or twice and just see how it goes, because you might experience that little crack in the mold that will break out of your comfort zone and you will enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope those of you will come and join me on this journey as we learn and experience our story. And that's it. Happy drawing!